Do you want your running man to feel and look more powerful, more strong, more grounded? That's exactly what we're gonna work on today, all right? There's 2 different tips that I'm gonna give you right now. I want you, after you watch this video and learn both of them, I want you to pick just one and focus on that in your practice. You eventually absolutely will be able to do both of them, but it's super important that you get the muscle memory, the practice, the technique, everything down for one example before you add the other one, all right? So a powerful running man, maybe right now your running man looks like this. Nothing wrong with that. It's cool, it's chill. Maybe you want it to look like this, right? Boom, 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 boom. Whew. I'm out of breath. Okay, here is what you can do. Firstly, option 1 is to raise your knee higher in your perch and make it wider. So many shufflers I see in their running man, they bring their perch like this. My old videos when I first started, I was doing it too. It's all good. You see that my foot is tucked in. It looks small. We want to actually open up that flamingo or that perch, and you can also lift the knee. Now, when I say pick one and not the other to start, I mean, if you're going to pick this version to practice in your flow, I want you to focus on using your hip and your core and your pelvis to drive that knee up, lock it in at the top, okay? Feel your glute locked in, feel your quad activated, flex that foot, make this position your power stance, but then when you drop down into your triangle, your open position, keep it chill, okay? We're not trying to go high and wide at the same time with our running man, not just yet. Pick that knee up, drop it down, chill, okay? Small width between your legs when you are doing the open position. All right, practicing this here, we'll maybe do 8 running mans together. Just focus on driving that shin forward, pulling that knee up, and really utilizing your muscles here. Don't just like pulling yourself through it. Think of locking into place, dropping, locking, pop, lock, and drop it, pop, just like that, except a little different, all right? Here we go. You can start 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. Let's start in our perch, and we'll drop down for 1, and then we'll just really tune our brain into focusing on that perch, driving the knee up. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Notice my voice when I was counting, I literally made the and bigger specifically because that's what I'm focusing on. I'm focused on enhancing that and count, that half beat where I'm in my perch, okay? Using these small little like mind muscle, memory, analogy, sing-songy tones, that's what's really gonna help you get everything that I'm taking today and make it stick in your flow and in your memory, all right? That is option 1. Option 2, let's face this way, we'll switch it up a little bit. Option 2 is going to be in your open position. So we're now gonna get into a larger and longer lunge in our open stance or into our, into our triangle, okay? From here, there's a few different things that you can do. Firstly, very important to keep at least the front knee bent. The front knee should always be bent. We never want to lock out our knees in our running man. We always want to sink into that front knee, okay? The back knee, depending on how far you slide out, can be bent, or it could also straighten a tiny little bit. This obviously lends itself to different shuffle styles as well. We're not going to get into the details of those today, but I just want you to know you have both options as long as that front foot is bent for safety, for agility, for efficiency, all of the above, okay? So I want you to just for now, just drop into your, like a casual open position. And then I want you to just push it a little. Like if you had to sink down a little bit more, where would you end up? That's what I want you to aim for. We're not going from here to here, okay? Make sure you've warmed up before this as well, okay? So when you drop down into your open position, I want you to stretch your average just a little bit. And then when you pick up into your perch, we're gonna do the opposite of what we did in the last example. I want you to keep it chill and small. What this looks like is this, okay? Notice I'm not tucking my foot in. This is not the opposite of this, right? This we still don't want. We still need that space and breathing room between the base leg and the actual like perch itself. But notice my knee is not all the way up here. My knee is actually quite low to the ground. I still have a nice flexed foot. You could point the toe as well if you want, but it's much smaller. So I'm not focusing on going from here all the way up here right now. Again, you can do that later, work up to that later. Tons of people do it flawlessly. Today, we're just going a bit by bit, all right? So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go a little bit slower because this one is harder to get out of. But basically what I want you to think of is from this point, when you drop into this triangle, you need to use a lot of emphasis to pull yourself back up. This is why I personally like a slight bend in the back knee, because I'm gonna push into the ground and I'm gonna shoot my body up, even though my knee is staying low, okay? I want you to think of drop and pull, drop and pull. All right, let's do a round of 8. Here we go. Keep that perch chill, widen out that open stance. Let's start with, you can start with either leg up. We're gonna drop on one, make it a big drop. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and there you have it. All right, so as I said, work on one of these things or the other, and then eventually you're gonna switch and focus on the one that you chose not to focus on after today, and you will end up with a more powerful running man, more efficient, using more of your muscles and having more muscle control, and ultimately having more power. Follow Shuffle Shred, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. That way you can have all the tips for shuffle mindset, and how to be a confident, powerful, and unique shuffler.